Saya terkejut apabila jadi
When Mr. Lee asked me to stand as a candidate
sebagai calon dalam pilihan umum
in the
pada tahun
1976 general elections, I was surprised.
Saya menerima
My decision to accept his offer
untuk bertanding
to stand
sebagai seorang calon PAP
as a PAP candidate
memberikan satu kejutan
created quite a stir
masyarakat Melayu.
in the Malay community.
Ini hanya beberapa tahun sebelum itu
Just a few years earlier,
saya telah memberi pandangan
I had expressed differing views
daripada pemerintah
from the government
mengenai pendidikan.
about education.
Dengan terhormat, beliau adalah seorang ketua yang tegas,
He was a tough taskmaster,
banyak memberi nasihat.
but always full of advice.
Beliau mengingatkan supaya jangan sekali
Never waffle,
berbelah dan
he would say.
bersikap terbuka,
Be open,
sentiasa waspada,
be attentive,
tegas.
firm,
Tetapi yang paling penting,
but above all,
mestilah bersopan santun.
be polite.
Nasihatnya ialah supaya kita kumpulkan
His
perhatian
advice
kepada
was to concentrate on education.
ini akan memastikan anak-anak kita
This would ensure our children
yang
would go on to become trustworthy trustees of our nation when they grow
Saya
up.
berterima kasih
I am most grateful to Mr. Lee
kerana telah memberi sokongan padu
for fully supporting
penumbuhan Yayasan Mendaki.
the formation of the Mendaki Foundation.
Tahun 1979,
In 1979,
bila saya dikendaki menemani
when I was to accompany Hon Swee Sen,
Menteri Keuangan pada waktu itu,
then Minister of Finance,
China.
to China,
Jadi katanya saya
Mr. Lee asked me
cuaca sejuk.
if I could take the cold Chinese winter.
Dia juga bertanya, adakah anda
Do you have
ikut musim
an
sejuk?
overcoat?
Saya berkata,
He asked.
saya akan
I said that I would buy one.
jawab-jawab. Jangan.
No, don't waste money, he replied. Don't waste money.
Selepas berhenti sejenak,
After pausing, he said,
Amat mata
Ahmad Mata
ikut musim sejuk,
has a good overcoat.
pinjamlah daripadanya.
Borrow from him.
Bagaimana pula dengan
What about boots
menyalung kasut
to
semasa
cover your shoes for walking?
saya memberitahunya,
I said I didn't have any,
akan membeli.
but I would buy a pair.
Jangan buang.
No, don't waste money.
Dia berhenti sejenak,
He paused,
pinjam daripada Cotton.
borrow from Chok Tong.
Jadi saya kecil ke negeri China
So off I went to China
dengan kot musim sejuk
with a
dan sepatu
borrowed overcoat and a borrowed pair of boots.
Jadi berpegang teguh kepada
Mr. Lee believed in frugality,
dalam kehidupan
both in his personal life as well as nationally.
dan beliau mengamalkan pegangan
And he walked the talk.
peristiwa tadi.
The episode
Satu contoh
is an example
dan juga menunjukkan sikap
and also showed his fatherly character.
sikap kebapaan
And his fatherly character and sharp eye for detail.
cakap tentang sikap berkhidmat.
Speaking of not being wasteful,
Dia tidak suka membuang masa.
Mr. Lee disliked
Dia
wasting
bukan
time.
orang yang suka berleha.
He was not one to procrastinate.
Pada tahun 2010
In 2010, when I presented him with a copy of my book of speeches and news articles entitled The Singapore Malay Paradigm,
Paradigma Melayu Singapura. Beliau mengucapkan selamat
he sent me a personal note of best wishes.
melalui satu nota pribadi beberapa hari kemudian.
A few days later,
Saya tersentuh
I felt touched
dengan jawaban luhur beliau
by his gesture
dan memberitahu bahawa
and replied that the book
buku tersebut tidak akan menjadi kenyataan
would not have been possible
pandangan jauh masjid.
but for Mr. Lee's foresight.
Beliau terus membahas pada hari yang
He responded on that very day itself
dengan tulisannya sendiri.
with his own handwriting.
Lantas berkata pada saya,
He said,
terima kasih.
"Thank you, Sidik.
Saya telah berpeluang menemani beliau.
I had several opportunities to accompany him abroad.
Dia berkunjung ke Israel
When he traveled to Israel and Jordan
1995.
in 1995,
Merupakan salah seorang anggota rombongan
I was on the Singapore delegation.
pemimpin Perdana Menteri Israel Yitzhak
Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak
Rabin
Rabin
dan Hussein dari Jordan.
and Jordan's King Hussein
Maka ini kami
both
sebagai
entertained us
di kediaman.
in their respective homes.
Ini adalah satu contoh kelas
This was a classic
paling baik
example of Jewish and Arab hospitality,
penghargaan yang dan penghormatan yang
utmost
tinggi
appreciation
diberikan kepada Perdana
and
Menteri.
respect being bestowed on our former Prime Minister,
Mas,
a respect tinted in gold.
saudara-saudari sepenuhnya,
Fellow Singaporeans,
kita merasa
our deepest respect and appreciation
kepada seorang tokoh
to this
berwibawa tinggi.
great man.
Cik Lee memiliki ciri
Mr. Lee
dan ketokohan
was the embodiment
dalam negara.
of the term statesman,
Seorang yang hadir di kalangan
someone who comes along once
dalam beberapa
every few decades
untuk meninggalkan kesan yang dalam
to make an indelible mark
dan di seluruh
on society and the world at large.
pada keluarga beliau.
To his family,
Negara turut berkongsi
the nation shares your sorrow
dan kepiluan yang anda rasakan.
that you feel.
Salam takziah yang amat mendalam.
Please accept our heartfelt condolences.
Saya harap kepiluan anda
May you be consoled
sedikit sebanyak terubah apabila mengenal
in the knowledge
bahwa tokoh pengasas
that our founding father,
yaitu bapa anda
your father,
sebenarnya telah menikmati
had lived
dan hayat panjang
a long and
yang lagi pernah.
meaningful life.
Rakyat Singapura
Singaporeans
berhutang budi
are
kepada beliau.
indeed indebted to
Saya
him.
membacakan serangkap
Let me recite a Malay pantun
Melayu yang
or
menghargai
short poem.
nilai beauty seseorang. Pisang emas di bawah
This Malay quatrain
masak sedih
means that monetary debts can be paid off,
emas boleh
but debts of good deeds
yang boleh
cannot be repaid.
pun pepatah Melayu telah berkata
A person brings such debts to his grave. There is also a Malay saying, which means that a person who has done many great deeds will always be remembered. would like to assure you
bahwa resep warisan yang anda tinggalkan
that your legacy
akan diteruskan.
remains intact.
Kami akan selalu
We shall always
hargai
cherish your advice,
terutama sekali
especially
memerintah.
in governing.
Anda pernah berkata jika
You said
anda
if you want to be popular
sepanjang
all the
masa,
time,
Anda akan silap memerintah.
you will misgovern.
Jadi, if you want to be popular all the time, you will misgovern. Dan Anda sering menggesa kami
And you always urged us
pendekatan yang pragmatik.
to be pragmatic.
Dan yang paling utama,
And above all,
Anda tegas meminta
you
kami
insisted
agar sentiasa
we remain honest and clean.
bersifat ilmu mempunyai lantunan
Two characters
pengertian yang kental.
that has deep, solid meaning. PM, SM, MM.
Selamat berpisah.
Farewell.
Selamat berpisah.
Farewell, my friend.
Selamat berpisah.
Farewell.